If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
We are live. It is Tuesday night, 8 p.m. The place to be. The Big O Radio Show live YouTube channel. I'm Sean Stanley, the great Frankie Frezko. How you doing tonight, sir?
What's going on, gentlemen and ladies?
It's been a good week of wrestling so far. We had the All In pay-per-view, and then we've had Raw, got NXT tonight, Dynamite tomorrow night. Friday, you've got SmackDown and Rampage. Saturday, you've got Collision and WWE Payback. And then AEW All Out closes it out for the week Sunday night. I see you got your little WWE pin on there. Do you want to start there? We had a show again Friday, so not a lot has really gone on WWE-wise.
There's plenty of stuff that has been going on in the wrestling right now, both in WWE and in AEW, of course. Plenty
in WWE.
Plenty of stuff going on in WWE.
Okay, all right.
It's up to you. If you want to talk some AEW, you want to talk WWE, let me know. I'm down for either or.
We can go WWE, get it out of the way, do our top 5, no debating list, and then also, somebody forgot to do their homework. I saw the face.
No, I got it. I can't forget. Come on. And I changed the thing, so I'm 100% ready to go. Oh, you could do the debate list right now if you wanted to.
You changed it? What do you mean you changed it?
No, I'm saying I went ahead and I did my list. Okay. I changed the. You know how I use the some template, so I have to delete the stuff. So I changed the wording and everything. That way, it looks exactly what we're going to talk about today.
Okay, tonight, we'll tell you right now, we will list our top 5 pay-per-views, live events of this year so far, any wrestling event.
Yes,
so
correct.
you can get yours in on the chat already in. So we thank you guys. My dad's in, Terry's in, Karoon is in, Steven Gonzalez. What up, Sean and Frankie? Much love to everybody out there watching us. Make sure you jump on the YouTube channel, subscribe, like, get the notifications, jump in the chat, and let's talk a little wrestling. All right. Oh, he's got the Perrier, oh buddy. Oh boy, he's feeling frisky tonight. It's gonna be a great night, I can tell already. All right. So let's jump into WWE. Raw was last night. And I'll tell you, man, I know there's a lot going on with, the passing away of Bray Wyatt, Terry Funk, and all that stuff there. But, man, the Raw leading into Payback, 6 wrestling matches in 3 hours.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do, right? I mean, I like the fact that they're still, dedicating stuff to Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt.
100%. I'm not getting into that, but 6 matches in 3 hours. I mean,
but you wanted like 20 of them? No, 6 is fine.
I don't want 20, but I mean, every time you come back, it was a backstage segment.
Yeah.
You went to the ring, it was a talking segment. You went to the backstage segment. Give me a little bit more to get invested into.
The best segment was The Miz. Oh, that was so good.
Yeah, The Miz doing LA Knight was great. And also, the intriguing one for me was the whole thing with the Judgment Day, with Rhea Ripley saying, if everybody doesn't leave with gold, then that's it for the Judgment Day. Or things will happen on Judgment Day. And then I started thinking, I'm like, and then you saw at the end what he did, right? What Priest did. He holds it up to Balor and he says, I got this. So it's like, you thrown the JD McDonough in there. Obviously, there's friction there. And
they keep teasing us that they're going to break up.
Teasing it, and it's almost to the point now to where, and then you look at the way they're setting this up, and I know, again, Rhea's not losing her title. But then I started thinking, like, what happens if Rhea's the one that loses the title and say Finn and then win the titles? And now Rhea's the only one without gold.
That would be interesting, but I don't think that's happening. I don't think Raquel's going to beat her.
No, I don't either. I looked at the betting odds, and usually they're somewhat. She's negative 5,000. Like nobody thinks Raquel is going to win this. Usually it's like negative 1,500, and then the challenger's like plus 750 or something.
We need to do our picks for Payback because Payback is this Saturday.
Yeah, we do actually. Yeah, we're gonna have to add that to the list. I'll have to bring up the thing. I forgot to throw. We did terrible in All In, buddy. We are bad.
We did so bad. But wait, we want to talk about AEW. Let's keep talking about.
I know, but I was like, man, our predictions are like,
yeah, AEW. We
kind of like that Jonathan Taylor trade.
Yeah. We don't want to talk about the Jonathan Taylor trade.
We'll talk about that tomorrow at 10 o'clock in Kingsway.
You're gonna be mad. I'm gonna be mad. I'm already mad at that crap. So at least we got rid of Noah.
But when I thought about it, I'm like, man, how interesting would it be if Rhea is the only one without gold after everything's said and done?
Well, it would be interesting. I think would be a curveball, but I don't see it happening. I see Damian Priest winning a belt, and then I see eventually Finn Balor getting kicked out, which is what I don't want. I want them to keep going, but I
don't see why they don't just put JD McDonough and bring him part of the group. Like,
yeah, I don't know why.
I don't understand what the whole thing about. Damian Priest is like, this is my family. This is our family. Well, bro, he just helped you win a match, man. What else do you, I mean, it's odd now. It's almost getting to where it's like, all right, we got to figure out something to do here to make it a little bit different.
But you want to know something? One thing
to a time, we haven't bashed Pepsi Phil yet. That's coming later on in the show.
Whoa. You see what I'm wearing. You know who I'm going for. You know who I'm supporting.
We'll talk about that later.
But I will tell you this. One thing I have liked that WWE has been doing recently is that their matches have been a little bit more friskier. Haven't you noticed that? Yesterday we had Becky Lynch. My girl Becky Lynch. Oh, so hot. She was on a street fight, like an all falls count match, which was really good. And then you had Trish Stratus in there. Like they closed Monday Night Raw really, really well. And remember, they had the one that they went out to the bar where they copied AEW. So they were at the bar and with the ladder and all that stuff. That was pretty cool as well. So I don't know if it's only been Becky Lynch, but I have seen that they've like stepped it up and made some different matches, which I think WWE should do. I think they should go a little bit more, like besides just a regular match. I think they should do more of those type of matches. You don't have to bleed in order to get those matches done. And I think people will be more invested because now you're getting, like, I enjoyed that fight. That fight was fun. Nobody bled, but it was still fun. And Trish, I mean, they went through tables and everything. Yeah. I think that works for WWE. You need that. We haven't seen that in WWE for a while. And then
we haven't seen it for a while. But again, also Vince was, again, now you have Endeavor running it. You have Vince kind of out of the picture for a little bit right now. And maybe they're going away from the PG stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if it's a smart move 100%, but you know, you can do that in that 10 to 11 hour. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could do that. They were talking about making that more risque type hour, that 10 to 11 hours. So maybe you'll see more of that happen as things go on. I mean, again, there wasn't enough matches on the card last night. And especially leading into your go home for Payback.
My brother goes and says Becky would have bled in AEW for sure. She would have bled.
It would have been a lockup and everybody would have been busting.
Would have been funny. But and then you got Becky fighting Trish in the steel cage match at Payback. So that should, I like that. I get you. 6 matches might have seemed a little bit too little for a 3-hour show, but what they gave us was entertaining. The whole little Gunther type of segment, I'm not feeling it as much, man. And I don't know what's going on. Is it Gunther supposed to fight Chad at Payback? I think they scrapped it.
It's on Raw.
Why are they doing that? They should have put that on Payback. Like that's a good
thing, but they didn't. They put it on Raw because I think, again, you got to look at what they're doing. Starting at not this Friday, but the following Friday, I believe. John Cena's on every Friday except for the Friday they're in India.
It looks like WWE is getting desperate by bringing John Cena back.
You knew it was going to happen when the strike. I told you when the strike happened. Cena is Hollywood right now, but he'll go back to, when he doesn't have anything going on, he'll go back to WWE.
Well, I think the problem is John Cena sucks as an actor, and then that's what is going on. Since I don't think anybody's calling him either to do any acting.
There's nothing going on. It's a strike.
I understand that, but still, even if he did, I don't think he's getting that many calls.
Guy or whatever the hell he did or whatever.
I mean, he's a terrible actor in my opinion. I mean, I like the guy, but I don't think he's the greatest actor.
He's been doing it acting for 30 years now, man. I mean,
he has not been doing acting for 30 years. What are you talking about?
The prototype to John Cena. He was a Thugonomics. Now he's Hustle Loyalty. I mean, come on, man. The guy does it all.
John Cena as an actor is not the greatest out there. I mean, he ain't getting no damn Oscar, that's for sure.
They're not desperate bringing him back in. It's just John Cena's done so much for WWE. They're bringing him back, man. I mean,
but why would he want to do 7? Like, I think he's doing like 7 shows. So why is he like? If they just wanted to bring him in once in a blue moon, okay, bring him here and there. I think he's desperate. I think he actually has mentioned that he wants to come back, that he wanted to come back. But the thing is that his body doesn't tolerate it as much as before. So that's why.
Because when you're not doing it every day and every other day or every other week or whatever, you know, your body doesn't get used. Your body's just not used to hitting a concrete block or getting picked up and slammed, especially when you're 235 pounds, man. That doesn't happen.
He needs to watch out, man, because I read a couple earlier today that Kurt Angle's still struggling with some of his injuries, where he can't even.
Kurt Angle also wrestles with a broken freaking neck in the Olympics, so
yeah, but Kurt,
long before he had a broken neck before he even got into pro wrestling.
Yeah, but
it's not good.
He's regretting it because I saw the interview and he was talking about. He was like, "Look, I can't even have fun with my kids. Like my neck still hurts. My back hurts." He wasn't regretting it
when he was making those $1 million checks.
But he regrets it. He says that he feels that he should have regretted, like he should have retired 5 years earlier than what he did.
Yeah, he shouldn't have went to TNA. That's what happened to all these guys.
Yeah, that didn't help either.
They went and they're like, oh, you know what? I need that check. And then at TNA, oh, you're only wrestling 2-3 times a week, depending if you did the couple live shows. And you're like, oh, okay, that's perfect. But also that hurts your body more because you're not used. When you're getting slammed every night, and you have 2 days off, and then you're back to getting slammed around, your body gets used to it.
But Karun has a good point, though. I will give Cena props for that because he did talk a lot of crap about The Rock back in the day, and he is coming back. So
but he also apologized about that and said he was ignorant to the situation.
But I also think
he didn't realize that if The Rock came back and got hurt, it would put hundreds of people out of jobs.
But not only that, but I also feel that Cena is not. I think The Rock is a way better actor than Cena, so I think that's why you will see Cena more often than The Rock would. That's why you don't see The Rock, because The Rock does good movies.
The Rock doesn't need to. The Rock doesn't need it. Honestly, Cena doesn't need to come back. I think Cena feels more obligated to come back because it's more recent than what The Rock does. And also, when The Rock left, Vince McMahon had the first 5 films as executive producer. So WWE got paid for The Rock, even though some of those movies probably were the worst ones The Rock did. But
still
Vince
better
McMahon
than Cena,
was
though.
Executive producer. Cena, I believe, was just out and just doing, on his own. WWE wasn't making anything off of it.
But see, look, right now I have NXT on the side right here. Look, and right now, look what they're doing. You see, they have a steel cage match going on, and then somebody went backstage. I don't know who that guy is because I guess he's new. I don't know who that guy is, but he just ran and just destroying people left and right on the ring. See, that's what I'm talking about. I like that. I like the fact that WWE is doing that.
You love chaos. You love AEW chaos.
No. Organized chaos. Organized chaos is good. I don't want extreme.
Listen, no spoilers, man. 2 times trying to tell you, no spoilers, buddy. Not all of us are watching NXT right now, right? Some of us are going back over there and doing it later.
I don't know that. I don't know that guy's name. He's just running around, some guy there, and then they're fighting in a steel cage match. So
yeah, 2 times. He's not gonna be able to give you any spoilers. He's like, that guy's doing this guy's doing that. We have no clue.
I have no idea who that guy is. There's some guy there. He's just knocking out everybody.
Are they wearing spandex?
Yes, he is wearing spandex. He's just knocking like a whole bunch of guys. All right. Don't worry about it. It's okay. But yeah, I like that. I thought that was pretty clever. I think WWE should do that more often, and I think they need to carry that more into Monday Night Raw and into SmackDown. Look what they're doing. They don't even know what they're doing with Cody Rhodes. You saw that they're doing the Grayson Waller interview at Payback. Like they don't have anybody for Cody Rhodes right now either.
Let it breathe. See what happens with Grayson Waller. See what they do with the Grayson Waller effect. Just let old Cody breathe for a little bit, okay? I don't want him getting jumped by Brock Lesnar anymore. I don't want him, whatever's next. Let's just
they don't have anybody else.
Let the American Nightmare just chill for a minute and enjoy this time where he doesn't have to get killed.
What is he gonna do? Talk more about Terry Funk? I mean, I thought that was kind of lame that they're putting him to interview in the pay-per-view. I mean, just do that on Raw. Like, why are you, or do that on SmackDown, I guess, because that's when Grayson is. Why are they doing it on Payback? That makes no sense. I don't understand that. That's stupid.
Did you see the pay-per-view, honestly? Have you seen the pay-per-view?
I haven't seen.
They're like, our competition's Collision?
I'm telling you right now.
It in because it's week 1 of college football.
I gotta see that card because I only know a handful.
It's terrible, man.
I mean, I know we got Seth versus Shinsuke. We got Trish versus Becky. We got the Grayson Waller interview. We got the Miz and LA Knight. Yeah, that's probably
LA Knight.
That's my favorite fight.
AO and Sami Zayn against Judgment Day in the street fight. It's now going to be a Pittsburgh.
Oh, look at that! Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Like and there's, I mean, look, it's an okay card, but it's week 1 of college football. They know what's going. They know what's going to happen.
The thing is that right now,
and it's on Peacock for $4.99, so they don't have to throw together a card to sell pay-per-views.
The problem right now is that they don't have mega superstars in Monday Night Raw. They only have Cody and they only have Seth, and they can't put them to go against each other just yet. So that's why they're struggling, because Shinsuke is good, but Shinsuke doesn't move the needle, man. He's not like a high end right now. Like, I mean, he's okay, but he's not like, that's not a main event that calls my attention. And then you don't even have Cody fighting. What is this? That's why I feel like they're struggling a little bit, because they don't have.
They're not struggling. It's just they're not going to sit out there and throw. Why are you going to throw together this massive card that nobody's going to watch?
People are going to watch. Wrestling fans are going to watch.
College football, my man.
It doesn't matter. You will watch. I will watch. We have multiple TVs. There's plenty of times you could rewatch the pay-per-view.
Yes, we will. We will, but there's going to be more people watching the replay, because if you have Peacock, you can watch it whenever.
Chat, tell us right now. What do you guys think? Do you think you're going to be watching that Payback if it was a really, really good card? I would. Live, I would.
No.
I would definitely watch it. because it.
But also, you're not going to do a payback. Great. What comes next?
I don't know.
Survivor Series right around the corner.
Yeah, I don't know what route they're gonna take with that Survivor Series, because that bloodline story is getting boring.
Build this up. You can't be TK, but TK only does 4 or 5 pay-per-views a year, so you can throw and make it these. But also look at what AEW does on Collisions and on Dynamites. You're getting pay-per-view matches on there that you should be getting on the pay-per-view for free.
I'm gonna be doing like Nicholas is gonna be doing. I'll be watching Collision.
Yeah. Go ahead. You watch your Collision.
The drama, baby, the drama.
There's no drama. There's no drama.
The bunch of misfits. That's who I'm gonna be watching.
Bunch of misfits. Yeah, watch. They're all suspended. The show's gonna get canceled.
Misfits, baby. That's I'm team Misfits.
All right, real quick before we jump into that, we're almost there. So, also, the other thing I want to talk about: WWE and NFL. They have made legacy titles. You can get yours also for $599.99.
So a great deal, right?
Like great deal. Well, guess what happened? An hour and a half after they put them out,
they started selling out.
They yanked one team off.
The Jaguars?
The Jaguars were pulled.
You sons of bees, bro. How dare they do that to TK,
but the reason it was pulled was because the belt sold out.
You know why?
It takes 8 days to get it back up on the site. So
I went on NFL.com to look at some of the belts. I looked at the Miami Dolphin ones, and the Miami Dolphin ones, it's okay. It's not
all right. I mean,
I wouldn't pay $500
logo though. The logo throws it off. It looks too sleek with the logo. The logo just looks like, I don't know.
For the other guys that tune in, I'll give us a small plug. Dougie, I watched Dougie, and he had that place where he does the custom belt. He did it really nice because that belt looked really nice. I don't know if you've seen it, but his belt looks really nice. So shout out to Dougie. He has a cool Dolphins belt. But this one, it's okay. I saw, and every single one of the NFL belts looks exactly the same. But I did see that I believe Detroit Lions belt sold out too. Yeah. So there's a couple of them that have already sold out. So people are buying it. $500.
$500, $599, $600.
I mean, $600. Jesus Christ, bro!
Man, for that, I can go get a custom one for like $250.
It's a lot of money, man. I don't know if I want to pay all that money.
By a belt maker for like $250, man.
If it was maybe a CM Punk one with the X on it, then yes, I would pay $600. But
X canceled?
No, the X.
Oh.
Actually, next time I swing by your place, I'm gonna grab that WWE one you have back there. I'm gonna spray paint it with a black thing. That way you can see it's CM Punk, baby.
Yeah, you do that, and I might be spray painting you as well.
You body slap me to death. I'll be like, "Hey, God, what is Sean doing to me?"
I'll let you paint that one. How about that one?
Yeah. Either or, it doesn't matter.
All right. Oh, Jaime's in there. Jamie Zuriya. Sorry, I said Jaime.
So, do you want to do the payback picks, or do you want to wait?
Yeah, let's do payback picks real quick, and
we gotta make up for our mess up last week. We were pretty bad last week.
All right, hold on.
Pretty bad. But on a positive note, I do like that look that you mentioned. They have a street fight. That's cool. See, they need to be more friskier. No blood needed. Just be a little bit more friskier. Man, I like it, bro. WWE got something going for them. You know. Also, they're having something going on here at NXT. See, two time I'm watching it.
Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready. Talk to me.
All right. I'll just start from the bottom and go up.
All right.
The United States champion, Rey Mysterio, takes on Austin Theory.
Okay, so now for me, I honestly feel Rey Mysterio has no business holding that belt. I think Austin Theory wins that. He deserves it back. Give Austin Theory back what he deserves, which is that USA belt. Austin Theory wins that. You?
Rey Mysterio keeps the United States title. His son keeps the North American title because his son's just a little bit better than him.
Yeah. It would make sense for them to give it to Austin Theory, and then this guy, Escobar, he's like, I'm going to avenge Rey Mysterio, so he would be the next one in line to fight against Austin, which was originally the plan, but
I'm going to avenge Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, that makes sense.
LWO.
Since when did LWO become so good? They always lost. I'm a little bit surprised about that. But so Austin and you got Rey.
I got Rey. That way, look, one of us is going to be terrible this show, and one of us is going to be good this show. All right, we can't both go. We were too much together on the last show.
We did so bad.
Killed us.
That terrible.
LA Knight LA Knight.
Yeah.
On. How did he do it last night? How did he do it? He said everybody's going to be saying, how did he do it? The Miz.
I don't know
what last
exactly.
night he did his thing and he said something. I forgot what he said exactly. But LA Knight taking on the Miz.
Look, man, LA Knight all day, baby. All day, LA Knight. Let me talk to you. He's going to beat the Miz. The Miz is not awesome. LA Knight is. Yeah.
I have to tell you, I agree with you on this one. So I can't go with the Miz. The only way the Miz wins is if they start some kind of faction with him and he's leading and they attack and now LA Knight's got to find some friend or something. That's the only way. One-on-one, LA Knight destroys the Miz. And if they put the Miz over LA Knight clean, I'm driving straight to Stanford. All right, now this one, I don't know. I think we might have the same pick on this one as well. Cody Rhodes on the Grayson Waller effect. Who wins it?
I don't think either one of them because it's an interview, but I do have the feeling that Cody's gonna smack or hit Grayson Waller, and then that's gonna be the next feud for Cody Rhodes.
That's what I think they're leading to. Yes, I agree. Undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions. It is the Steel City Street Fight. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn takes on the Judgment Day.
Well, look, I really, really would love the Judgment Day to win this, but I just can't see Sami and KO losing this right now. I think this is going to be the best fight of the card. I say Sami and KO figure it out. I know KO has been kind of like on the quiet side, and he's been a little bit upset because he hasn't been in pay-per-view. So he's going to go ahead and get all that anger built up and do it on the Judgment Day.
See, I think something you said earlier kind of struck a chord with me, just stayed with me. I think they take the belts off Owens and Zayn to give them two more bodies that can be main event bodies instead of having them hold on to tag team titles. I think the Judgment Day walk away with it. And it'll free up Zayn and Owens to go and do more.
I think it has been holding back KO. I think KO has been held back because of that.
Definitely. Becky Lynch battles Trish Stratus in a steel cage match. And I agree with Trish and what she said. This has been going on for way too long.
Well, after yesterday's dedication to Bray Wyatt, Becky showing out her tears and everything. Yes. Becky's my girl, man. I love Becky Lynch. My favorite wrestler of the female side in WWE. Becky Lynch. There's no way she loses to Trish Stratus. Trish Stratus, get out of here. You're losing that steel cage match.
Yeah, it's got to be Becky. This has got to be the payoff for her for this whole fiasco that's been going on since right after WrestleMania, basically. So this has got to be it. And then Becky moves on and this is over. Women's World Champion Rhea Ripley takes on Raquel Rodriguez.
You mentioned it. You said that it would be kind of like something out of the ordinary if some way, somehow, Raquel upsets and beats Rita. I just think there's too much power for Rita right now. She's too popular, man. There's no way you could get the belt away from her. Plus, even though the whole Dom thing has kind of come still very good together, I got Rita all day.
Yeah, I have to go with Vince McMahon on this one. There's no chance in hell Raquel wins this. But it did throw a wrench in what she said yesterday with the whole thing about we all better leave or there's going to be some judgments made in the Judgment Day. And then I sat there and thought about it. I'm like, what if she's the one that doesn't have a belt next Monday night?
True. I mean, it would be a hell of a betting odds if you win that bet. Jesus, you make some good money.
Yeah, last time I saw her, she was plus 1,100 and Raquel was plus 1,100 and Rhea was minus 5,000. So take it for what it is. I mean, it is wrestling odds anyway, so they're never low, but still. And then I guess the main event, the World Heavyweight Champion, the real World Heavyweight Champion,
that's
freaking Rollins, takes on Shinsuke Nakamura.
I really want
about your back.
I really want Shinsuke to win. I don't know why, but I really want Shinsuke to win. But I just don't see it. I don't see Seth losing to Shinsuke, so I'm gonna pick Seth.
Yeah, and Two at Time kind of called it here too. This is where I'm at odds here. What if Damian Priest fakes an injury, pulls out of the tag match, and it's JD McDonough and Finn Balor winning the tag team titles over Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens? Seth Rollins wins a hard-fought match against Shinsuke Nakamura. Damian Priest cashes in and wins the title. Judgment Day now has gold. JD McDonough now part of the group. And we sit here and we head to Monday night, and Judgment Day all has gold. Don't think it'll happen, but you know what? It would be interesting to see, because when I thought about it now, I was like, it just says the Judgment Day. It doesn't say Damian Priest and Finn Balor. On here, I'm on WWE.com. It says the Judgment Day. It does not have the two guys named.
I think Damian Priest will cash on. He should cash on
but he won't cash in if he wins the tag titles.
Why not? Let him win both. He should. Let him win both. Let him carry both. But I think he should cash.
If they end up doing that, all of a sudden, maybe Damian Priest thinks he ones up Finn Balor, but then all of a sudden him and JD actually win the titles. Somehow Rhea and Dom help them win the titles, and then so we'll see how they go.
I'm gonna go on a limb. I'm gonna say that Seth wins, but Damian Priest cashes on the Money in the Bank, and he takes the belt from Seth, and then that would lead up to Damian Priest against Finn Balor for the next pay-per-view, maybe at Survivor Series.
Not necessarily now, because you've just taken the belt off KO and Sami Zayn, both feuding with the Judgment Day. If he wins that, now you don't have to put Seth right back into the main event picture, because now you freed up Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. So you'd have one of them first and then build up to the Finn Balor.
But I have Sami and KO winning, so I don't see them splitting up. So I still think I
forgot you did pick them. See, I got them losing, and then now you can put them into the main event picture. So there are our WWE payback picks. Let us know what you think, and don't go off of ours if you're going to bet, because we're not good at this stuff.
We've been pulling that big old type of the type of picks the last couple of pay-per-views. It hasn't been good at all.
All right, my man. Are you ready to do it?
So are we doing the top five?
Top five.
No debate in this. Yes, sir. So let me jump on here. Let me share this with you. There it is, sir. You can go ahead and post it up, and you guys are more than welcome to go ahead and also
remember, it is today. It is the top 5 pay-per-views or live events of this year so far.
Yeah, so we're ranking them as like what has been our best this year. Like, who do we now? Let me ask you, Sean. I could do this if you want. I could give you the rundown of the pay-per-views that have been for WWE and AEW up to this part, if you want to do that, and then we could do our list. Also, Ring of Honor. I have also the Ring of Honor ones as well. I don't know if you want.
I'll be honest. I just went AEW, WWE on this.
Okay.
That's pretty much how I did mine.
Okay. So, overall, in general, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. There has been a couple of obviously there's more WWE pay-per-view events or live events than AEW. So, my list is a little bit of mixture of both. But I guess I'll start it off. My surprise one will be my number 5, which is Death Before Dishonor, and this is the Ring of Honor pay-per-view. And the reason I picked Death Before Dishonor, this was the one where Willow fought Athena, and this I thought that was one of the best fights of the night. This was the one where Pac actually came and lived up to expectations than that crap that he showed when they did that what is that called? That fight that they always have on Wednesdays. Oh man, I forgot the name of that. Anyways, you know what I'm talking about, right? When the 5-on-5 on the
they did the cage match thing. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Chat. What match is that? Damn, I forgot the name of it. Now I'm gonna have that in the back of my head.
It's like their war games. It's their war. I forget what they.
Yeah, I forgot what they called that. Blood and Guts. There you
go. Blood and Guts.
Blood and Guts. So I was so disappointed with freaking Pac's performance at Blood and Guts that I was like, what is this crap? And I was so mad. but then he made it up. He had a hell of a fight. He did a great job in that fight, and I honestly felt that Ring of Honor actually produced a pretty good pay-per-view for that one. The match that actually did surprise me, which was the Dark Order, it was against Stu Grayson and the Righteous. That fight was like another street fight, and bro, that match probably was even better than the Willow and the Athena one. So that's why big props. I think Ring of Honor did a good job. You want me to keep on and I'll just do my first top 5 and then you do
let's go back and forth because there's gonna be some.
All right, what do you got? Number 5.
My number 5 is Forbidden Door.
Oh, how dare you, sir?
Which was the AEW NJPW. Look, man, they have great matches. They have some, you want to call it, dream matches. I think the injury to Daniel Bryan through that match hurt that one a little bit. But I love these pay-per-views. 1, the hype, and then 2, living up to the hype. And I think Forbidden Door did live up to the hype. Yeah, what do you wanted something else? Yeah, but when you have all these guys, you had what was it? MJF took on Tanahashi. You had this was also when they had the Blackpool Combat Club, Takeshita and Yumino against the Bucks, Page, Kingston, and Ishii. You had Daniel Bryan again took on Okada. Omega took on Ospreay. Sonata was on there taking on, at the time, Jungle Boy Jack Perry. And then, of course, you had Sting, Darby Allin, and Naito taking on Suzuki, Guevara, and Jericho. So all in all, and then Kojima and Punk. It was matches you wanted to see. And you got to see. And again, to me, those just the hype of the event, to me, makes up for, even though Death Before Dishonor, your matches might have been better, executed. To me, when you look at like Forbidden Door, those are the pay-per-views that should be up in the top 5. Go ahead.
Let me just put this here because I want to give them props to both. So we're gonna put AEW New Japan Wrestling. All right. My number 4 was Backlash. I think one of the most entertaining pay-per-views we've had this year. I think Backlash lived up to the hype. It was the wrestling match of the decade when Bad Bunny fought against Damian Priest. I thought that fight lived up to expectation. But then, of course, you got Brock versus Cody, and Brock versus Cody was trash. It was just not what we wanted, and it was one of the reasons why I have Backlash not higher, because of that match in particular. I think they dropped the ball on that one. But overall, Backlash lived up. That was the one where Zelina came out. You had the crowd, the Puerto Rican crowd going crazy. It was a pay-per-view that you weren't expecting them to deliver, which they actually did. So Backlash, in my opinion, the 4th best one.
Sorry, hit the wrong button.
You're good. Sean wasn't ready for me to pick Backlash number 4. That's the problem.
No, I had it up higher, actually.
Oh, okay.
My number 4 was actually Elimination Chamber, which was the Sammy Roman Reigns pay-per-view. It also had Edge and Beth Phoenix, and Asuka in the Elimination Chamber winning the women's title, and then Lashley beating Lesnar by disqualification. For me, the Elimination Chamber, again, one of those matches that Sami Zayn, that was that payoff to that whole bloodline angle, that to me elevated this pay-per-view, and that match delivered. Honestly, with the things, that's my number 4 pay-per-view.
My number 3 is your number 5, which is Forbidden Door. And the reason I picked Forbidden Door, you spoke about it mostly. It was just the two companies putting on a show that really lived up to expectation. Yes, the Daniel Bryan was kind of the one fight that kind of, unfortunately didn't live up because of the injury that he had. But still, it was such a good card. You had everything. Plus, you also had the 0 hour kind of where they had Athena versus this girl, the one from what's her name? I forgot her name. She was living up at I'm pulling it up here. It was Athena against Billy Starks. So Billy Starks, which is a big. I haven't seen her. I wish they bring her more. I don't know what happened, but she did such a great job on the Zero card.
I believe she's got to graduate high school. Or no, she just graduated high school. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I saw Nick Wayne has been coming up, but they need to involve Billy Stark a little bit more because she has potential.
She might have to finish up some obligations too, because she was booked pretty good for a while. So.
And then, like you said, that fight Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay, that was amazing. Even though Will Ospreay almost killed Kenny Omega a couple times, but still it lived up to hype. I really enjoyed that pay-per-view. I thought that pay-per-view lived up really well. The only thing, like I said, was that Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson fight, which unfortunately, could not live up because of the injury. But that's why I got number 3.
All right, for me, my number 3 is your number 4, which was Backlash.
Any reason in particular you have it?
You saw the emergence of Io Sky when she took on Bianca Belair. You got to see. I thought, look, I get it. It was David versus Goliath, but I thought the Rhea Ripley, Zelina Vega, that moment, Zelina Vega coming to the ring. Again, it's about moments to me, and that's the one thing, and of course, Bad Bunny took it, and then you had the Bloodline whole thing, of course, Cody and Brock, however you want to look at that match there. But honestly, I think Cody and Brock could have jumped off a building after the whole Bad Bunny thing. I think they should have booked it differently. I said that to begin with. I knew the reception Bad Bunny was going to get, and the fact that when he has been on a pay-per-view, he delivered. And now you give him this whole pay-per-view in Puerto Rico, and you decide to put him on, 3 matches before the main event. And it's like, why would you do that? But that is my number 3.
Probably one of the most epic entrances ever, Bad Bunny in Backlash. Not gonna lie. My number 2 is WrestleMania 39, day 1. Okay, day 1. I did not whatsoever enjoy day 2. I thought day 2 was an understatement. I thought WrestleMania day 1 was good. That was the one where Austin Theory upset John Cena, and we were supposed to see John Cena not come back in WWE, but since Cena sucks in acting, he has no other choice but to come back. We also had the Street Profits go against Ricochet and Braun Strowman. I thought that was pretty good fight. You had Seth freaking Rollins against Logan Paul. So Logan Paul, that match was the one where Shanta R-Truth was back.
I was upset. I'm like, I'm like, who else KSI?
That was the one where Sean was like, yo, is that R-Truth? So he thought that was R-Truth. That was funny. Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. I mean, that Pat McAfee and The Miz. It
was the Miz, right?
Yeah.
When was the one with him and Vince? Was that the year before? Was that 38? Was that already back then?
I would have to look in. I could look at it when you look, or maybe you could look at it while I'm talking.
Right now, yeah, go.
And then, of course, the upset of the decade, the Usos finally lose the championship belt, the tag team championship belts to Sami and also KO, which was an epic moment because how long did the Usos have the belts? They had it for like forever, bro. They needed to lose it. The crowd went wild. It was such a great. Hold on, let me change this just to make sure. Day 1, because day 2 for me, and I don't know if you guys feel the same way. Day 2 sucked. For me, day 2 was not a good night. I thought day 2 did not live up to expectations. I thought some of those fights sucked. I didn't like the fact that Cody lost, etc., etc. So I say day 1 WrestleMania 39.
My number 2 was the pay-per-view I just witnessed.
How dare you, sir?
AEW All In.
Tell us why. Tell us why you got AEW number 2 and not number 1, sir.
I'm going to hold that answer to when we talk about All In.
Well, then I'm gonna force you because All In is my number one, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit as to why.
Yep.
Okay. I think this was the very first pay-per-view that I felt that AEW structured the card correctly. I was questioning the fact that why the hell is Adam Cole and MJ fighting twice? But it worked. It actually worked. It actually made sense. And I like the fact that they did that first tag team match. They kept them on because they're selling that story like crazy right now. And they know that they have MJF right now. Like he's up there, man. He's getting up there. He's probably be he should be the face of AEW right now. But they did it right. They allowed them to win. And then not only that, in the main event, the whole way they ended. The only thing I wasn't happy about the last thing was that I felt that Adam Cole should have struck Roderick Strong with the belt and then hugged MJF. I think the crowd would have been wild because then that's when you see that Adam Cole finally says, screw my friendship with Roderick Strong. I'm going to go ahead and my friendship with MJF is bigger than that. And that would have been epic. I think that's the only thing they missed. But besides that, every single fight delivered in All In. It was the most entertaining fight. Over 80,000 people. I just for the first I know that Eric Bischoff said it was an indie show in steroids, but I know he doesn't like AEW. I know he's a little bit sour because he's not in WWE. But I was proud of AEW, man. Besides all the drama afterwards, but I was proud of AEW. I think they delivered a great card. I think the fans were entertained. I thought the viewership, the public who ordered the pay-per-view were entertained, and AEW, for me, nailed it.
You good? Are we going to talk about you want to talk about the pay-per-view when we start the AEW talk, or do you want me to?
It's up to you if you want to talk about it.
No, I just put my number one. My number one's your number two. That's all. I flipped it.
Day one or both days
Day
or
one.
day two?
Oh, I had them both. I just put WrestleMania, just the weekend extravaganza. But if I had to pick one, then it'd be day one for all the payoff of the Sami Zayn bloodline, things like that. And then what I was going to say was AEW put on a hell of a card. Everything was good. It was great. Don't get me wrong there. You know what I'm saying? But when you look at WrestleMania, and again, I don't know what is the difference. They've been doing it longer, so it feels bigger than what it is. The shots are bigger than what they need to be. That's what makes WrestleMania. It's the fact that it's the biggest production that they put on all year. It's their Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? And again, nothing against, but AEW All In, they had those spots, they had those moments during the pay-per-view, but the whole event, it was big for AEW, but it was missing something. And again, this is their first one. I think this is ultimately going to be their WrestleMania. All In will turn into their WrestleMania.
It should.
If they're smart, they do that. Because they also went to a market which WWE has been talking about, possibly having WrestleMania globally in different markets globally. AEW just did that, and they made it work. Now, I'm not going to sit here and bash anything they did. I just thought, to me, when you watch the WrestleMania production, it looks bigger than what I saw Sunday afternoon. Nothing against them. It just looks bigger because they've been doing it longer.
I will give you this. WrestleMania's entrances are way better. Plus, their stage on when they're coming out is way better than what AEW was able to produce. But I still feel that the AEW wrestling was more entertaining than the WWE wrestling in WrestleMania. That's why.
Let me ask you this: through all of that you just said, there was how many moments?
There was tons of moments.
Tell me.
There was the Saraya when she finally won a belt in front of her country. Mm-hmm. You had the MJF doing the kangaroo kick, which I already pre-ordered my kangaroo kick shirt. That was to start it off. You had the CM Punk getting bashed right through the announcement table. That was a moment where Samoa Joe was sticking the bird at him. You had the fact that the 0 hour as well, when even though I don't know it was planned, but it worked for them. Jack Perry taking a shot at CM Punk. You had the moment where Adam Cole and MJF had the whole fight, said 5 minutes, and then MJF said, "No, we're gonna go all night." See, all those little factors played. You had the Young Bucks and FTR. That was a great fight. And then you had the Stampede, man. The Stampede where everybody was bleeding. Everybody, you had Penta, even though there was miscues left and right.
How many times have you seen that on Dynamite?
The Stampede, the Stampede has been here or there, but it still lived up. Because there was, I mean, it was
just violent. It was violent.
They still figured out.
Seen that. That's over there. That's not seen every week. Like,
yeah, but they had their moments, because then they had Sue when she came with the van. Even though, yes, you're right, they had done that before. But Sue coming in, everybody, if you follow AEW, you know who Sue is. She's with the best friend. She comes up with her van.
Friend's mom.
And then she had the baked cookies. That was really good. You had Penta changing to Red Penta, which was good. Those are things that you don't see on the Stampede that were different. Now the Kingston Claudio, you already know that beef is going on. I will tell you this, when it comes to the production, you are right about that, because there were some fights, some of the wrestling that they were, I guess, backstage and stuff like that, and people weren't able to see. So that they need to work on. I agree with you on.
When they went to the split screen, it got better. But the first time they had Santana Ortiz is in the ring. Well, let's go ahead and touch this. Let's just switch over, slide your thing. Let's start talking AEW.
we got Sean is into it now, baby. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Yes,
AEW, like they're small, minute things that, again, I think as they work on this and the production gets so much better, it's going to turn into a pretty good event for them.
I think
a great event for them, because, again, the wrestling's never been the problem with AEW. The redundancy of some of the wrestling, because they try to put so much on TV, you see a lot of this stuff. Like now they're going to have, Omega against Tetsuka at All Out. I feel like in the last 3 pay-per-views, I've seen some version of that. You know what I'm saying? I get it. This time it's one-on-one and everything else, but it just feels like it's just, that's where I mean, I love the Soraya thing. I love what they did with the Outcast. And not necessarily was like, okay, let's see how this goes, and then the fact that she pins her, spray painting her in the face. Ruby came out, kind of just left like whatever. And then you saw, that there 100%. The Max, all that, the MJF and Adam Cole stuff there. I thought they made a mistake starting with CM Punk Samoa Joe. And I say that for this reason. That match felt like a WWE match. And AEW matches start with your high flying, all this stuff. And that to me felt more WWE-esque than anything else on the card.
But I think that even though I wasn't able to catch all of it, that match, I think they started it because, again, I think they wanted the bang to keep going, which is what WWE has been doing. They're starting the big fight. So who's the biggest name on one of the biggest names for AEW? CM Punk. That's a lot of people are going to go see him. So that's why I think they made that fight as one of the first ones. I think they kept it balanced because they were giving you high moments and they were giving you low moments.
That one felt WWE-esque, and then the 6-man with Omega started off very slow. Then it upped, and then it went. From there, it went up and it went. But they started off so, I was like,
wait, no, but
feeling each other out here? What is going on? It almost felt odd.
That Kenny Omega fight was a little bit boring. I'm not gonna lie to you. That fight wasn't that great.
It felt like something was being held back. Like, I don't know. Yeah. It just the beginning of the show, and what I found odd was 1 year ago it was what? Brawl Out, right? Who was in Brawl Out? CM Punk, Kenny Omega, Young Bucks. First 3 matches, see ya.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like And then I'm like, well, maybe they needed them in the back. Well, we know CM Punk they didn't need, but everybody else they might need in the back to help out with something else going on there. But it's like it felt odd at first to see all that done in the first 3 matches, and then the show kind of picked up after that.
But that goes to show you how AEW is developing their other talent. It's not so much the Young Bucks. It's not so much Kenny Omega. It shouldn't be only CM Punk. It's awesome that they're pushing.
Did you say they're developing their other talent?
Well.
Wait.
We're gonna go into.
You said AEW's developing their own talent.
I'm gonna tell you something. And I know Tua Time wants to bash the crap out of CM Punk. Tua Time, stop bashing CM Punk. I'm gonna tell you right now. And since we're touching this topic, let's talk about it.
Talk about it.
Jack Perry is a guy who is jealous. And I'm going to tell you who he's jealous. He's not jealous of CM Punk. You know who he's jealous at? He's jealous at Ricky Starks. That's what's going on right here. So this is what I'm thinking right here. Jack Perry has had this whole turnaround of his character. He's no longer Jungle Boy. He changed his music. He changed his persona. He's been fighting with Hook. All this crap. Nobody cares about Jack Perry. Jack Perry sucks. We don't like his new character. We don't like him at all. He is irrelevant. The only reason that fight was in Zero Dark Hour was because of Hook. That's the only reason. Because nobody wants to see Jack Perry. He had to go and do that extra stuff because he's noticing that CM Punk and that Collision show is propelling Ricky Stark to the next level. And Ricky Stark should be fighting in this All Out card, but now because of CM Punk whole situation, I don't even know if Ricky Stark is going to be in that fight. But honestly, I think that's the reason why Jack Perry started all this crap from the beginning, because he's envious at the fact that Ricky Stark is getting popped. He's becoming the next a big superstar, just like they've been doing with MJF, just like they've been doing with Adam Cole. And he knows that Ricky Stark has CM Punk's back. CM Punk has his back. CM Punk is the one that's pushing him. And this is the reason why CM Punk, I can't blame CM Punk for all this drama. You gotta blame.
Are you kidding me?
You cannot blame CM Punk for all this drama. You cannot blame him. Guys, you cannot blame CM Punk for this. And you guys might tell me, hey, man, you're a CM Punk lover. I'm going to tell you something right now. I know CM Punk is a diva. I know CM Punk sometimes has his moments and he thinks that his shit don't stank. But I'm going to tell you what. TK has been the main reason why this is going on. He allows all this crap to happen. He gives CM Punk the liberty. When you give somebody that much liberty and so much like high praise, and he already has his ego up the roof, of course he's going to run with it. So obviously you're going to see CM Punk telling everybody to go F off because he's like, you know what? This is my show. This is what I'm doing. I'm not going to go and just blame CM Punk on this. I'm saying this is like 90% on TK and 10% on CM Punk. CM Punk, everybody wants to start off with CM Punk. When the whole situation with Jack Perry, why did he have to take a shot at CM Punk? Why did you have to do it at the pay-per-view? What's the point of doing all? Because you want to create drama, bro. Because you're irrelevant. Adam Page, when he went against CM Punk and he went off script on that segment and started taking shots and was trying to make CM Punk look like a heel. Come on. Everybody's taking shots on this guy. And then you look at him and you're like, yo, this guy is the bad guy? How is he the bad guy? He's getting picked on every fucking time. How are you going to go ahead and blame CM Punk for this? The guy needs to stand up for himself. I don't understand why people are picking on him. They want his name. They want him to push him to the next level. I don't know what else to tell you. But I'm not going out on a limb and say that like Tua Time, because I know Tua Time hates CM Punk. But it's not on CM Punk, man. It's on TK. TK is the reason why. And then Jack Perry being jealous on Ricky Stark. That's the reason why this whole situation has blown up. And we're not talking about such a great pay-per-view, but we're talking about this whole goddamn drama.
You done now?
I am done.
All right, I think you got excited and got something on your CM Punk shirt there.
No.
Man, dude. I mean, I'll give 60% TK's fault, as we've talked about. He's had fault for not saying, hey, CM Punk, know your damn role. Or Jungle Boy or Jack Perry, CM Punk is this. Because here's another thing I'll tell you right now. If what some of the stories coming out now are telling me is that CM Punk went to Collision, made it his show. I get that. But then don't sit there and downplay the other show by, hey, this ain't the B show Dynamite. Okay? That's why we don't use the glass like that. Then you're going to get a receipt. And how about being a little bit professional? You have a job. You're paid to do a job. Your job isn't to choke somebody out in the back. That's Punk's fault. Punk has to be responsible for his own damn actions. And the fact that you've got Joe mad at the whole situation, you've got people scurrying 10 minutes before a damn pay-per-view to try to bump up another match because you don't know if that match is going to happen. That's being unprofessional. Handle it differently. Don't handle it. I don't care. If you walk in somebody and say, you got a problem with me? I do. Give me 15 minutes. We'll come back and settle it. Let me go do my job, and then I'll come back and kick your ass. What good does it do for anybody? What good does it do? You're paid to be a goddamn professional. Unless TK paid him and said, hey, Omega, Young Bucks, look at your new EVP, CM Punk. Then why does Jungle Boy have to listen to him? Why does Jungle Boy have to listen to a peer tell him that the B show, Dynamite, is where that happens? It doesn't happen on this show.
Are you done?
Should I be done?
I'll respond to you. That's why I'm waiting. I'm letting you speak.
So you don't think that he was unprofessional by doing this?
All right. So the first thing, him calling Dynamite the B show. Number one, he's not lying. Let's keep it real. It is a B show.
Mm-hmm.
Now, should he be out saying it out there? Maybe not. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe
what
not.
The hell,
but you want to know why?
Put yourself
you want to know why?
Another man's position.
Wait, you want to know why? Because they've already done him dirty from the start. They've already done him dirty from the start. When he was in Dynamite, when he came up to AEW, he was pushing Dynamite. He was doing everything he had to do. And then they started the beef with him. They started everything with him. He did not start anything. They started talking crap about him. They started telling him all that stuff. There's no going off segments like Adam Page and all that stuff. So you know what? Of course, he already feels disrespected. Of course, he's gonna have some type of freaking friction with that show because he's like, yo, I don't like the people who are over there because those people already turned their backs on me. I come to this show.
The great Jack Perry, cry me a freaking river.
Jack Perry is a piece of crap. Jack Perry wants to do what he needs to do to try to be relevant, and that's the reason. And if you're talking unprofessionalism, talk about Adam Page when he went off script. Talk about Jack Perry when he went on the screen and he said it. He said that to his face. None of that would have ever happened. CM Punk would have never had to have said anything if it would have never been said in the first place. Now, if you're talking about CM Punk telling Jack Perry, hey, don't use this glass or whatnot, then you know what Jack Perry should have done? He should have gone to TK, told TK, yo, I don't know why this guy's telling me all this crap. I'm doing it this way because you gave me the okay. Case closed. I don't care what that guy does. But TK didn't do anything. TK allowed that crap.
Still, then why does Punk have the goddamn problem still? It falls on the three of them right here, right now.
It falls on TK.
No. It falls on TK that he hasn't sat there and said, this is your job. This is your role.
If TK would have opened it, if TK would have said something.
He is freaking grown up, Frankie. If somebody comes up to you and says, you suck, you just grab him by the neck and put him in a chokehold? Do you do that?
Sean,
you do that.
Sean, these are guys that are working consistently together on a show. Consistently together. We're supposed to be working partners, right? You work on your end and I work on my end. Yeah. And then it's like me and you going ahead and then out of the blue, I go on the show and I start insulting you. Out of the blue. You're going to be pissed at me. You're going to be like, wait, hold on a second.
I'll be pissed. I'll wait till we get back and we can discuss it after. I've had it happen to me.
I'm pretty sure. I've had
it happen to me when somebody shoots on you and you don't know what the hell's going on. You go with the thing, you get to the back and you iron it out. You don't throw fists and everything else. You're supposed to be a goddamn tight-knit family. You're supposed to be a goddamn professional.
It's not
on Punk's job, bullshit on fanboy Tony Khan, Bullshit on Jack Perry.
It's not.
Bullshit on the whole situation if you want to be sure about it.
MJF said it better than anybody else.
No, they're not freaking misfits. No, they're not.
They are misfits.
Unprofessional. Unprofessional. That's not misfit. Misfit is MJF. Misfit is Darby Allin. Misfit is Orange Cassidy, not your role model pro wrestler. I'm 6'5", 350-pound champion. That's misfits. That's unprofessional.
Unprofessional is what they did with him to begin with. And now he's retaliating.
Goddamn man, and go down with it or quit. Does CM Punk need AEW? Because apparently backstage he was telling everybody how he hated this place.
But Tony Khan keeps bringing him over.
Okay, then. So what?
They made a show just for him, and then
he can't get along with nobody.
What do you mean he can't get along with nobody? Look, you want to know something? I would go ahead and favor you and say, yo, this is CM Punk's behavior and he's acting like a child. But if you look at the Collision show, he's been going backstage and he's been helping these wrestlers out. He's been helping Ricky Stark. He's been helping Orange Cassidy. He's been doing this thing with FTR, House of Black, all these guys. He has been a complete opposite of what he was before when he had that issue with Kenny Omega and all those guys. That's why I cannot go ahead and say, yo, CM Punk is an asshole or CM Punk is not professional.
Come on,
He's been doing his thing. Now, if you don't agree with this, look, there's two ways to handle it, man. There's going to be people who are going to be like, yo, you know what? Let me go finish this business and I'll come back and finish it. Or number two, which is, hey, man, screw you, man. What the hell's your problem? I don't give a damn if I have to wrestle. You don't come and disrespect me, especially if you go ahead and you say, hey, look, he is supposed to be this image bigger.
Let me ask you this. If Jack Perry runs into him, bumps him, goes, you got a problem with me? And CM Punk goes, no, I got to go take care of my business. What is the worry?
That's not who he is, man. There's people who don't react that way.
Oh, so his is pie face chokehold.
How do you expect if somebody goes and insults you, for something that happened weeks ago, months ago, I'm assuming, and you're bringing all this crap up and you're not letting go? You don't think the frustration is on you, bro? Like, if I'm seeing Punk, I'm like, yo, what the hell, man? This shit happened like months ago. Why are you bringing this crap up? And now you're bringing it up to me?
So let me ask you
if you had a problem, why didn't you bring it to me that same day at Collision or the next day or the many times that we probably run into each other? How about that?
So Jack Perry should have went to Tony Khan. Why didn't CM Punk go to Tony Khan?
Because Tony Khan has CM Punk on that high-ass pedestal, and that is why I blame Tony Khan. Because
CM Punk could have went, hey, your boy just bumped into me. Take care of my light work.
No, because CM Punk is not going to do that because he's on a high pedestal. He's
got to sit there and be like, I'm the ruler and the king of the world?
That's what Tony Khan has gone ahead and given the idea.
That's
exactly. That's why I give 90% to Tony Khan.
That's why it's CM Punk's fault.
No, it is not. It is not CM Punk's fault.
Yes.
It's not a CM Punk's fault.
Yes, it is.
No, everything is not. You give him that. CM, you already know what CM Punk is when you signed him.
Let me ask you a
Why
question.
in the world would you think that this guy changed?
If CM Punk's held high on this pedestal, let me ask you this question. Why was nobody there to pick him up at the airport? Why do you have to buy a train ticket to get to his hotel?
There's different stories to this. There's two sides of the story. They said that he went ahead and he called, and there's one that says that he called and nobody answered, so he just went and got a train.
The other one he called and he gave him options, and he said he's going to take the train. But the one thing that stays the same, nobody was there from AEW to pick him up.
Well, remember, this is the first time that they're in Wembley and London and all that stuff, and they got Tony Khan has a lot of shit going on. So probably they were like, you know what, whatever, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Exactly. So you don't think that he's frustrated from the beginning?
Of course.
You don't think CM Punk's already got some hostility already built up?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so then what? Every little thing. So the next person that did anything was probably going to set him off. It happened to be Jack Perry.
Yes, I agree. Yes.
So again, control your emotions. You're supposed to be a professional wrestler.
But I'm gonna tell you something, man.
Control your emotions a little bit. Dude, you can sit there and you can talk this all day. It's not going to change my thing at all. Because TK's at fault for not setting rules down and saying people who's who. Perry's at fault for instigating the whole damn thing. But CM Punk could have just took in the high road when the bullshit happened and just went, you know what, I'm working with Joe right now, and just disengaged from the whole situation. He did not. Instead, he kept going with it. That becomes him and his fault at that point as well.
I agree with you if this was the first issue. This is not. And there's so much you could tolerate after a while. If you keep poking the bear, you're going to get him. And that's what happened. So
that's the first time Perry's done that since.
No. We're talking about overall, just a whole. We don't even know some of the stories that probably have been going backstage and all this stuff.
But again,
everybody.
If we don't know about how we doing hearsay here,
so then that's why
something else had to happen to CM Punk at some point because everybody picks on poor CM Punk, poor Pepsi Phil, poor Phil.
They all want to pick on him because
why don't you go to Puxatani?
They all want to pick on him because they know
Groundhog Day. That's what this feels like. It feels like Groundhog Day. I'm gonna start calling him Puxatani Phil.
I understand.
He's a groundhog. I can see him every day.
How can you be professional if everything that's happening to him is being attacked to him from day one, bro? Literally from day one.
Be bigger, man. Be bigger.
Nah, man. You
don't have days at work.
The cup eventually is gonna spill, man. I'm sorry. The cup is eventually going to spill. You keep filling that up with so much steam and so much crap that you're bringing up to me every single time. It happens to us in our own job, man.
One of the best pro wrestlers in wrestling. And you're going to sit here and let Jack Perry be the one to instigate you into a backstage fight?
It builds up, man.
I mean, come on.
You could tell that this guy has been already pissed off, and he probably didn't even want to come to AEW the second time around. And he said, "Look, out of TK professionalism, I'm gonna come back." And then TK probably said, "Yo, you're running down the whole Collision show," and he's taking the leadership on that Collision show, and he's done a good job.
He's saying on all this stuff because TK hasn't come forward and said shit.
That's where TK is at fault. Again, crap.
That's why he's 60% at fault for this, because he should have put the whole thing to rest and say this is what CM Punk's job is.
Like 80%. I'll drop it down to from 90 to 80. But this is all has to do. This is very simple, man. This would never happen in Vince's world. That's why Vince got CM Punk out of here.
Because Vince doesn't let the nuts run the asylum.
Exactly. I agree with you 100%.
The fact that when they said producers can suggest things, like WWE producers tell you what you're going to do when you're going to do it. Not like, hey, I suggest you do this. Maybe you want to do this, maybe you don't. That's why all of a sudden it was, Arn Anderson this week came out and was like, I don't want to be a producer for AEW.
Yeah,
I don't want to be that. I don't want to do that. I've done that before. I don't want to be that here.
Yeah, but he said that because he's already tired and he know that he had to do all that stuff.
Yeah, but then he also knows that you're not really a producer there. You're a suggester. Because then if they don't want to do that, they're going to go to TK and be like, hey, or one of the other guys and try to go above you. That's what happens there.
And again, that's the reason why I blame the majority on TK. He's the one running the show. He's the head honcho. He doesn't have the respect of anybody. And at the same time, he's putting his favorites on top, like CM Punk. And when you give that power to a diva, because he is a diva, I'm not going to lie to you. I know that he's a diva.
That's when you've got to understand and be better than the minions.
But that's why MJF
Perry, dude.
But that's why MJF said it is a bunch of misfits. Why? Because you have a lot of wrestlers in that organization that are not the easiest to deal with, man. There's a lot of issues.
Because I get that stuff, but the misfits had nothing to do with being unprofessional. Neither way. And I'm not saying Jack Perry was unprofessional, CM Punk was unprofessional, and the fact that we've got to wait for a freaking investigation instead of Tony Khan coming out and saying there was an altercation backstage between Jack Perry and CM Punk. Both of them were in the wrong. Both of them have been suspended and making a statement. Instead, we'll talk about more after the investigation. The same investigation that took 3 months last time. And then CM Punk was injured, so it didn't matter because he was going to be out the same amount of time anyways.
That's the problem. Why in the press conference does TK say he acknowledges, and he'll be like, "Well, we're gonna go ahead and investigate it," and then he just out like a Twitter or the news outlets are all saying,
it happens. I can understand the night it happens at the press conference, but now we're 3-4 days. And apparently it happened in front of, supposedly, again, depending which stories you hear, it happened in front of TK. What are you investigating,
in front of everybody,
man?
Yeah, in front of everybody.
The situation happened. Call it what it is. Jack Perry started it. CM Punk started it. Whatever happened, come out. Why? It's already out there. Now there's so many damn stories. Pretty soon we're going to have the whole damn locker room was in the gorilla position throwing monitors at each other right before All In went out.
And that's the problem with the wrestling business, at least in that organization, that everybody starts instigating and starts talking more and more crap, because then obviously we heard what they were talking about, the whole Miro situation, and Miro at the end we find out that it was all just a joke.
Well, because it depends on whose side you can get the story from.
But see, this is, look at what is the common denominator. You're all gonna say CM Punk. It's not CM Punk. It's Tony Khan. He just doesn't have any balls to organize that business. Being a businessman, he should know this. He should know how to control a group of men and say, you know what, I run this show, and if you don't like it, get the hell out of here. He doesn't do it, man. He's dropping the ball. And I know I'm reading some of the comments.
In their asses.
I'm reading the comments.
CM Punk.
Exactly.
Joe, everybody help me. Yeah.
I mean, for the love of God, we were talking about this the other day about the Chainsaw Massacre fight, and that he wanted to be the guy with the mask and stuff. I don't know if he was or he wasn't.
I heard a report it was an independent guy. Then you showed me the report that Matt Hardy said it was him. I would take Matt Hardy's word for it since he was there. So, but again, that's where Tony Khan's got to step away and stop being the fanboy, man. You've got to, again, and somebody just said here, I'm predicting within the next 2 or 3 years, AEW becomes WCW and goes out of business. I don't think so, man. I don't think so. But at some point, though, soon, this is 2 years in a row, man.
Yeah.
You had a great pay-per-view, and it gets wasted because you're talking about fighting in the locker room.
I get the vibe, man, that obviously, unfortunately, CM Punk, but I also feel that the leadership of some of these wrestlers, they don't have the same leadership like Cody Rhodes, man. And I really honestly felt, the more and more I see this, the more and more I feel that if Cody Rhodes would have stayed in AEW, he would have had this under control.
Because I think Cody kept Tony out of it.
Yeah. Probably. Something changed.
A lot of people went to Cody, and now they're not going, they don't have that person to go to anymore. So it's going to, and look, man, Jericho's got too much on his plate. Dude. You can talk all
Jericho don't care anymore.
He's there at the live events. I'm sure he's great when he's there. But when he's throwing with Fozzy and all that stuff, he cared less probably about AEW.
Anthony Moxley cannot never be a leader on the locker room.
Dude, I could not look, man. Moxley's a great performer, good thing, but I just couldn't. That guy, I just couldn't listen to him to be a leader anymore. I can't listen to some guy with skewers in your head thinking that that's entertainment. Telling me that I on how to be how to act in the locker room. But
they don't have anybody.
That's the thing also that's changed. And that I believe is why Eric Bischoff said this is an independent on steroids.
Yeah, but Eric Bischoff is just a hater, dude. Like, he's always been talking smack about AEW from day one, man. He's just been mad.
But the fact that you have this much backstage drama, like, I get it. There's going to be instances. But when there's backstage drama, there's fucking explosions in AEW. It's not a little ripple. It's not a guy upset with another guy. It's not you stiffed me in a match. No, it's a boom. The whole freaking thing blows up.
Yeah. I don't know, man. But all I'm going to tell you is I side with CM Punk. I think CM Punk always gets the bad end of the stick. I honestly feel TK is the one.
I don't side with any of them. I don't side with any of them. They're all at fault. They're all dumb, unprofessional. The fact that it turned to what it turned into, no.
But you want to know something?
They're all at fault. I don't care how many times you've been poked or anything else.
Who has that fault, man? Who was the one who brought those wrestlers? Who's the one allowing all this chaos to happen? It's TK, man. It's TK.
That's the easy thing. You gotta be able to be man enough and professional enough to go and do your job. That's what you're there to do.
No, man, but not everybody's like that, man. I used to be a manager. I used to be a manager for a car rental company.
Too.
And when I was a manager in a car rental company and I have to oversee over 10 employees. Those 10 employees, not all of them were the most easiest employees to deal with. So who had to take the grounds of telling them what the hell to do and like, shut up, this is the way it's going to happen and all that stuff? I did because I was the manager. I took that leadership. You're not going to get that same caliber from your employees all the time. There's going to be good employees and there's going to be bad employees. There's going to be good wrestlers. There's going to be wrestlers that are going to be a pain in the ass. At the end, who does it fall under? The manager, the head honcho, me. I was the manager of that store. In this case, it's TK or whoever's under TK. If you have somebody underneath,
the way you're putting it, this company's doomed. This company's doomed.
I'm not saying that this company
not changing.
I'm not saying that the company's doomed
after last year's fiasco, and now it happened again this year. Dude, the definition. What's the definition of insanity?
I don't think
the same shit happen over and over, and that's what's happening.
I don't think this company is doomed because there's a lot of money involved and they're making money. But I think there's going to be casualties when it comes to some of these wrestlers. Some of them are going to leave, and maybe that's the best thing for the company. You know, maybe CM Punk, maybe Jack Perry. I don't know, but some of them have to go. And I think TK is probably going to be like, look, you know what? I got to let these guys go. Now, would it hurt the company in the long run? I don't know. Because honestly, Collision, if you take CM Punk out of Collision, numbers aren't that fabulous. But without him.
Anthony's asking right here, did Punk cause these types of issues in the locker room when he was in WWE causing fights, or was this just because TK doesn't really want to put his foot down? He caused chaos in the locker room at WWE, but again, but Vince had his foot and his foot down on everybody. That stuff's not going to happen in his locker room. It's not.
His biggest issue in WWE was obviously John Cena. Him and John Cena did not get along, and he hated John Cena, and that was his biggest
he
beef.
Felt that he should get the same treatment that the top stars got, and he wasn't getting it there.
And he was referring mostly to Cena because Cena was kissing Vince's ass. But besides that, who else? You didn't see him having friction with other wrestlers. It was mostly just John Cena and him just being upset that John Cena was kissing ass and they were pushing John Cena and they never pushed him because he's a radical. He has an open mind. He's gonna go ahead and say what's in his mind. I respect that. That.
He ruffled feathers everywhere else. The problem is, again, Vince didn't play those games. WWE doesn't play those games. That happens. Both of your asses go home. We don't care. We'll move on without you. That's why nothing ever got to what you're seeing here in AEW. In AEW, it's a wild, wild west in the back, apparently. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't happen because, again, though, too, is that when you're in WWE, what happens in WWE? You go to NXT. What happens at NXT? You mostly stay with those guys. Then all of a sudden you get call-ups. So most of these guys have already been around each other enough to know what they like, what they don't like, what buttons to push, what buttons not to push. You don't have that in AEW. You just have a bunch of guys show up and just go. And if you didn't notice that from the AEW All Access, what happened with Guevara and Kingston? You know what I'm saying? One thought it was, whatever. And then same with Ruby Soho. She thought Tay Conti was trying to stiff her and everything else. Those are your normal dramas in pro wrestling. You get in the ring and work with somebody and they take advantage of you a little bit. And you're like, oh, that ain't happening again. And you sit down, you have a conversation with them, and you figure out where did we go wrong? That's the professional thing to do. Do you get along with everybody? No. But you come in, say hi to everybody, you sit down, you put your boots on, you lace up your trunks, you do everything else. You go out, you perform for your 15, 20 minutes in front of the crowd. You come back, you thank the person for doing that. You thank your producer, you get dressed, you go to the next town. Professionals. I don't have to be liked by everybody.
I get you, man. I don't disagree, but I just feel there's a tipping point, man. And I think that already has way past the
tipping point at the first brawl out. That's when that to be honest, now looking back at all this, I can see why Omega and Young Bucks are doing what they're doing. They're laying low. They don't want anything on them. They don't want focus. They don't want the focus on them because they're going to let everything else kind of just, however you want to look at it, expose itself and everything else. Because now, when you look back at Brawl Out last year, okay, and I tell you, with everything that happened, what happened this year? Who's involved in this year? Who's the same person that's involved in this year? However you want to play it out. You know what I'm saying? So there, it comes back full force. It's like,
but I feel that they like picking on this guy as well. Like they know that he's one of the bigger stars in AEW, and I think that's why they keep poking that bear, because they know that their name is gonna come out if you have issues with him. And
but that's why you just it's like it's.
But that's not CM. But that's not CM Punk, man. We already know that.
You got to take a step back and then be like, okay, let me relook at this, because now you've done nothing except put a bullseye on yourself now.
True.
Honestly, at this point, it's like, to me, it doesn't make sense to bring him back for Tony Khan.
You're a loaded gun. Anything happens, you're gonna shoot. You're already ready to.
To me, right now, I mean, it's like it's almost to the point now to where Tony Khan's got to be like, that's strike two. You're on a very low leash, but then how do you put a leash on CM Punk?
Yeah, because Khan
you haven't had it on him so far.
And I don't even think if he was to ever bring him back, I don't even think he could go ahead and tell him that. Because did you see? Just look at reading between the lines. Did you see the Adam Cole MJF promo where they were getting yelled at by Tony Khan in the back room, and then they come out, and then MJF is like, yeah, whatever with this guy, and then Tony Khan comes out, and then he's like, what are you talking about? And he acts like kind of and then he goes, oh, good job, guys, good job, like this, that. That's exactly what happens behind the scenes. Like, he's not yelling, he's not doing anything, he's a fanboy, and that's why I feel eventually what's gonna happen is he's gonna have to let CM Punk go. He's gonna have to let him go. Will that hurt AEW? I hope not, because hopefully MJF is enough star power to keep AEW, and they better not lose MJF.
I mean, to be honest with you, this is what I would do this time. Jack Perry, you're gone.
Let Jack Perry go? Yeah,
fired. See you later. CM Punk, you're gone for 90 days.
Bring
him back. Bring him out there. And then when they say, well, why'd you fire Jack Perry, not CM Punk? I'd be like, one, Jack Perry don't bring me money.
Sure.
So I need the CM Punk name as long as he's under contract. And two, again, you are right in the instant that if Jack Perry doesn't say that, but I still feel it's a loaded gun, and CM Punk cannot take the bait. Because if you take the bait every damn time, that's all that's going to be coming at you.
We don't know what else is happening behind the scenes.
But Frankie, man, Jack Perry, man.
It doesn't matter, man.
Dude, come on.
Look at it this way. Look at it this way.
If it's Samoa Joe, if it's FTR, if it's the Bucks again, I could be like, okay. Jack Perry is the pubic hair. I mean, come on.
He is a pubic hair. But I will tell you this.
I mean, at this point,
maybe that goes to show you.
Jack Perry is just brush him off.
But maybe that's how, like,
but at this point,
right now, that nothing can.
Is you have to remember too, because it hasn't been said, but is Warner Brothers really a part of AEW? And does Warner Brothers want this crap? What is the one
about numbers?
Again, Warner Brothers doesn't care, obviously, about numbers.
I mean, they care only about they want viewership, so they don't care what drama goes behind the scenes. They just want to go ahead and keep going.
No, but they also, what they want to do is they want to win the night. That's all they're worried about, winning the night. They don't care how many viewers, as long as they're number one, number two on the night. That's all they're worried about.
And look, Anthony said the thing. If Maxwell walks out and he goes to WWE, I'm telling you right now, man, AEW would be making a huge mistake by letting him go. Like, that is bad. He is the star of that company right now. He grew.
Yeah, no, you're seeing his character grow with this,
with Adam Cole,
with this babyface turn. You're seeing an evolving MJF, and you're seeing the different layers of what MJF can be. when you're there. And honestly, look, Maxwell does not leave AEW with the title. If his contract is coming up, he's going to drop the belt.
Yeah. That's typically what they do.
If there's no contract agreed upon by, whenever his contract's coming up, I think it's supposedly January 2024, November, whatever pay-per-view it is, they're going to drop it. He's going to drop it. He's going to end up losing it. Now, if he resigns and then maybe they do something to get the belt back, however they want to do that. But they're not going to have that situation. There's no way they're going to have that situation. And then, look, man, CM Punk, I'm not going to say he's a locker room cancer, but he has his views on the way it should be, and that's the way he views it. And people know that and get under his skin, but you got to have tougher skin. You can't just let, again, and I sit here and look, Jack Perry as a performer is fantastic. But when you put the level of CM Punk and the level of Jack Perry, he's a pubic hair, man. He is not, he shouldn't be, why is he even on your radar at that point? To be honest with you, when he came back and got a problem, I've been like, yeah, I wish the glass would have went through your back. I'd have said some smart-ass comment and went on my way. Because when you're saying don't use real glass, it's because you don't know how glass is going to break. That's the problem using real glass.
But the problem also
sometimes it shatters. Sometimes you get shards of glass. If you watch Bob Holly on one show, a piece of wood, the table splintered wrong. It went through and it opened up his whole layer of his back. That's what can happen with glass.
No, and also the simple fact that apparently Jack Perry got the okay from somebody, and then CM Punk overruled it. That's
no, on the collision, he didn't get the okay on it.
Yes.
They stopped him. They stopped him and made him. Tony Schiavone and Creative made him use the fake glass.
But he had gotten the green light originally for the real glass, and then
not from anybody on Collision. He got it on Dynamite, and then he showed up to Collision with the real glass.
Oh, see, but they're the same show though.
No, we're not doing that.
It's crazy, man. No doubt, yeah, it is ironic we're talking about wrestlers fighting each other, literally. Yeah, it's just
no. I don't think. Look, man, this is Tony Khan's got to get the house cleaned up. That's the first thing that's got to happen. If he doesn't do that on this, if you can't sit here and make examples out of Jack Perry and CM Punk, however you want to do it, you know what I'm saying? The only reason I say is fire Jack. That way, you won't have any of these other younger guys going, well, let me try to make a name off of doing something to the Young Bucks or doing something to Kenny Omega. You want to act like a jackass? See you later. Leave.
Good point.
Because again, he did instigate it. I get that part. That's why it was unprofessional on his part. But it was also unprofessional for CM Punk to get antagonized by it to the point to where he blew up and put a chokehold on another guy in the back, and supposedly monitors got tipped over on the owner of the company. The only thing going on then was, we need to change now. 5 minutes before a pay-per-view, you're trying to run around and say, FTR, Young Bucks, can you go on? No, we can't. 6-man, can you go on? We can try. Okay. And then all of a sudden, CM Punk doesn't want to go out. And then Joe is pissed off and it's like, no, we're going out. Which is why I think when he flung him through the table, he gave him the FU for like, hey, that's what you get.
Yeah, but I
think that was a little play off of the real shit that Samoa Joe was thinking. Now,
I think so. Yeah.
I'm not saying he took advantage of anything. That was probably the spot. The spot went exactly how it was supposed to go. But I believe that was more of the FU to him because of what just transpired.
Yeah, but I will tell you this. I think at the heat of the moment, maybe CM Punk was a little bit dramatic, but he still went out there and wrestled, which was the most important thing. Maybe CM Punk went and said, you know what? He calmed him.
Was a little sluggish.
He called himself. He said, "Yo, let me think of what I'm doing here. We got 80,000 people. We have a show to perform. I don't want to leave Samoa Joe hanging either. At the end of the day, Samoa Joe has nothing to do with this. Let me go out there and wrestle.
Yeah, let me leave Ricky Starks hanging."
And now he left kind of Ricky Starks hanging. But again, he went out there and he still showed. Unprofessionalism would have been he would have not even shown up and said, "Screw this shit."
You know what I would do? I take back what I would do if I'm Tony Khan. I strip him of the title, the Real World Championship. I suspend him. And then I put a match with Ricky Starks against whoever you want to put up there, and they win the Real World Championship. And CM Punk, if he comes back or whatever you decide, again, I get it. CM Punk is the business, is the money draw there.
Yes.
If you want to make a statement, you just cut them both. Just say it. This shit happens again, it doesn't matter because you're just going to be fired without questions. Screw investigations. They cost too much.
No more.
It's just you're fired on the spot.
Yeah, that's it.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, but again, I do understand with where AEW is now that, look, CM Punk is worth more than Jack Perry. But CM Punk has to be punished.
I will tell you this, and I'll give you an example here. When I left that car rental company, I remember there was a RVP, the regional manager. He was like the high-end guy. He sat me down, right? He had my area manager. The reason I left was because of my area manager. And I remember I told the RVP guy, I told him, hey, look, man, I can't work because of this guy. This guy is the reason why I'm making money for the company, and I can't work for this guy. You know what the company did? They chose him over me, and I walked out. So that's why I agree with you. I agree with you that, hey, you got to go with the person who makes you money. Until this day, that guy's still hired with that car rental company, not me. So
Anthony just put in there, I think that's what is the matter with Tony. I think he's going to side with Jack Perry because he's a homegrown talent and Punk isn't, so he might fire Punk. So I'll tell you this now. If he does that, AEW's done. AEW's done. If you're going to side, you think Jack Perry's going to bring you more money than CM Punk? Now, if you fire them both, I get that.
Yeah, you could justify that.
But to me, if you suspend CM Punk for 3 months, then Jack Perry's got to be gone for 6.
And you know what? The whole thing about homegrown talent, let's keep it real. He's not even the best homegrown talent that they got right now. You feel me? So, like, they've been able to discover way better Ricky Stark, MJF, those guys, even Darby Allin. So they could live with letting Jack Perry leave, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't see Punk getting. I mean, I don't see Perry staying and Punk being fired. I mean, again, Perry instigated this to again, going through it all. He didn't have to pull the camera to him and be like, "Real glass, cry me a river."
Yeah.
That started it. I agree with that. He instigated it. He knew what he was going to do. Apparently, he told people what he was going to do.
He did.
In stories and reports, again, depending on what you want to believe. So he said what he was going to do.
Yeah.
But again, on the flip side, you've got to be better than that and not let Jack Perry get under your skin.
Yeah, I can see that point. I get you. I'm still CM Punk. I'm team CM Punk all day.
The one thing you're forgetting, though, is that if CM Punk's trunks fell down, Tony Khan would hold up his sack. All right? If Jack Perry's fell down, he'd probably bring out a blanket. That's the difference.
Yeah, man.
He chants CM Punk in the gorilla position. I mean, he's chanting for CM Punk. Come on, man.
I hope he was wearing the CM Punk shirt.
At this point, I don't know that there's anybody that's more over with Tony Khan than CM Punk.
Maybe MJF.
It probably hurt him to death to have to send CM Punk home.
He cried. He cried during his sleep.
Oh. Apparently, he hasn't had any contact with him.
Oh.
Surprised somebody deleted his number and I can't get in touch with him. Like, I get this shit off Tony Khan's. Now Tony's just sitting there like.
Now let me ask you this, and just to change a little bit of topic because we're gonna keep going here. We've been going a little bit long.
Yeah, we went longer than what I went already. Blew out of water.
But I will ask you this, and I had this poll on my Twitter account or X. Is MJF the most entertaining wrestler in the game right now? And I had 70% say yes, 20%.
He's one of the most entertaining.
No, most.
I know, but that's where I said no.
I saw you. I saw that. I saw you wrote that. No. How dare you write that? Why?
No, I think he's up in the top 2 or 3. I
Number
think
1. Who's better than him? Tell me. And don't tell me Roman Reigns. Don't tell me LA Knight. Don't tell me The Miz.
Guys, I mean, dude, your boy Dom gets more entertaining sometimes. Dude.
Are you serious? I love Dom. I love Dom, but you're telling me Dom would have been able to do what MJF did in front of 80,000 people? No way, man. Look at the fight that he had with Cody Rhodes. We all thought that was a bore fest. We all thought that should have never even been on a card. I love Dom. but you can't put Dom above MJF.
But again, you're talking about, when you're saying what is entertaining, what's entertaining to you isn't entertaining to me. Again, that's where you get the whole thing. Like, as a complete package, MJF is one of the best going. Yes, one of the best going.
Who is better than him? Right? Who is the best right now in the game? Don't tell me Dominic Mysterio. Because Dominic Mysterio couldn't even hang with Cody Rhodes in that pay-per-view, and we threw him away.
See, you set stuff up because of one show.
No, I'm not saying
yes, you set up because 80,000 people watch this show. How many people are watching them in Louisville, Kentucky?
A lot. Look at the reaction of the 80,000 people who saw MJF.
Those 80,000 people would have jumped out of their chair for anybody that walked out of the back.
No, do not say that. You saw the reaction for MJF compared to any other wrestler out there. Okay. He was the best one.
He is the most entertaining. Oh, wait. Oh, that's right. That's right, no doubt. Dancing is pretty entertaining. You know what? I take it back. You're right. That's right. The dance off. I forgot about it. That's right.
Okay. All right. That's
right. The dance off.
Yes. I will admit this to you guys, and I will take my word back. Yes, I did talk crap about them dancing. And at that time, I was upset because I said, yo, Roman Reigns would have never danced. But to AEW's credit, I bought in. They have sold me on it. And
yeah, dude, they sold me when the first time they did the hangover thing.
The dancing was good. I love the kangaroo kick.
Yeah, I bought into it going, okay, I know there's going to be a turn here. And now I'm starting to wonder if there's going to be a turn. And if there's a turn, it's not going to be Adam Cole turning on MJF to turn MJF baby.
No doubt. I hate you for bringing that up, bro. I hate you for bringing that up.
I almost forgot about that. Sean, you going to do the review? Yes, I have to do the Raw review and the NXT review. Those will be up on the Sports Talk Sean Stanley YouTube tomorrow morning. So we'll get those up.
But yeah, that was kind of like where I wanted to go. Nobody.
No, I mean, right look, man.
The time, right now,
right now, he's one of the most entertaining. He's 1-2, definitely.
But who's number one, man? Who's your number one? Oh, come on, man. Now you're being sarcastic.
The indie god. I mean, he's the indie god.
Nah, I still love you, no doubt. I'm just messing around.
We love all you guys, man. We appreciate all you guys. That's what this whole thing here is about, having fun and talking pro wrestling. Yeah, and we'll get fired up, and I'll turn red and almost have a heart attack, and my veins were pumping there a minute ago. I got laid. I was about to.
I knew this was gonna get a little bit heated because I'm supporting CM Punk, but I came to the show with the idea of I'm supporting him. That's why I'm Team CM Punk.
That's the thing is I don't support any of them. I don't support any of them. It's the fault of everybody.
And I do agree with somebody in the chat. I don't remember who said it, but the brand is bigger than the wrestler. I do agree with that. At the end of the day, I do agree with that because there would be no wrestling if that brand never existed. That's why I feel the brand is bigger than the wrestling. I agree with that. They would never had a job if it wasn't for AEW existing. So you have to put AEW above. That's why I use the reference of the car rental company I used to work for. I honestly felt at the end I had no hostility against the company. I had hostility against that area manager. Kind of like what a lot of people have, hostility against, I'm pretty sure, CM Punk, but they don't have hostility with AEW, just CM Punk. So they keep picking on him, and he keeps falling for it too. I'm not gonna lie, he's a diva. Let's keep it real. He's a diva.
Oh, he tries to live by the moniker that he's he's the straight edge. He's the best in the world. Oh, you're questioning if I'm the best in the world? Well, let me put you in a chokehold. I'm
not gonna lie though. Like I told you guys earlier in the top 5. I still think they missed the mark just by a little bit. I think it would have been perfect if Adam Cole would have struck freaking Roderick Strong and then hug MJF. That would have been perfect ending. But overall, I mean, the good thing is that look, we get to have this conversation about CM Punk. I know sometimes it's not the best.
See, I don't think they did that because I think what you're going to get is at All Out. It's going to be MJF and Adam Cole against the Kingdom for the titles. They're already picked.
Well, now that we're there, let's try to do it.
That's right. Let's try to do these real quick. Whatever's booked already.
Whatever's booked. So I got here first fight, Miro versus Powerhouse Hobbs. Who do you got?
I wish Powerhouse Hobbs, but Miro.
Yeah, same.
I want to see Hobbs get a push And it's just, I thought he was finally going to get the push with the Wardlow thing. And then 3 weeks later, they dumped him again. It's like, I honestly don't think AEW knows how to book big guys. So Miro will win this, but then Miro will just sit there and be the redeemer because he doesn't move anywhere.
I got Miro. I hope he wins. I think he's the only big guy that they will be able to push correctly. And Luchasaurus with the whole Christian Cage thing. That's the only thing. Next fight, we got Kenny Omega versus Takeshita. Who do you got?
It's a toss-up, man. Because, again, this is the first time they're doing singles. So you could do some shenanigans and then run it back. Or you do the whole best of three. I mean, if this was the end, I'd say Kenny Omega needs to pay off. But I don't think it hurts Kenny Omega to, not a clean win, but Don Callis or somebody doing something and Takeshita getting the victory. I can see that happening. Takeshita.
I want to disagree with you, but I can't. I just feel like Don Callis came out also saying that ever since he left Kenny Omega's corner, that Kenny Omega has been on a losing streak, which is true. So I say Takeshita pulls off the... Well, no, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to go with Kenny Omega. I'm going to say that he breaks that curse. Kenny Omega.
I think ultimately it's going to get to that, but I think they're going to play it out for a pay-per-view or two. Because, again, they fought each other in 10-man tags, 8-man tags, 6-man tags. Now they're finally one-on-one. So, maybe they'll do something where they get double count out or something. They run it back, or I don't know, but I'm going to take Takeshita.
All right, I'll take Kenny Omega. The next fight we got is Chris Statlander, the champion, versus Ruby Soho for the AEW TBS title.
Statlander, as much as I would like to see Ruby Soho finally win a title, with the Outcast kind of being disbanded, I think she falls out of grace again, and they forget about her, and Chris Statlander keeps the title.
It sucks. I wish that was the case. I'm going to go with Ruby Soho. I say she wins the belt, and now you have Ruby Soho and Saraya as the champion, and I think Toni Storm is the one out of Outcast.
Let me wait till tomorrow, but I think Statlander wins it still regardless, but I want to see if they do keep Saraya and Ruby Soho together.
Okay. Next one that they've announced is Luchasaurus. I don't know if he's the champion. With Christian Cage.
For this match, he's the champion.
Versus Darby Allin for the TNT title.
Man, I mean, I can't go against Luchasaurus and Christian right now with the title. I don't see them losing it.
I agree. I was so mad that Darby and Sting won and All In, but I don't see the same outcome. All Out, Christian gets his revenge.
Technically, I mean, I told what's the manager? Prince Nana, is that his guy? The guy's name? Dude, the braids of Swerve were out of the casket. I mean, look, if the bat is out and then the braids are out, I mean, technically, that's a protest.
They should, if they're smart, they should bring that up in Dynamite and you run with it.
Because the camera was on it for a minute and then they must have seen it and it's like, oh, let's pan out.
I would run with that all day. All right, and then the last one I see that they have booked here is the winner of Orange Cassidy versus Penta tomorrow, versus Jon Moxley for the AEW International title. Wow, Moxley going for the international title. Wow.
And I think he gets it.
I think so. Well, look, you know what? Okay, so let's do this. Who wins tomorrow, Orange Cassidy or Penta?
I think Orange Cassidy. With the help of Jon Moxley, by the way. I think Moxley's going to pick his opponent because Orange Cassidy's injured more, and then he picks him apart at the pay-per-view and wins the title.
Look, if you guys know me, man, you guys know that my favorite wrestler in AEW is Penta. That's why you see that mask up there. I know the outcome, but I could never go out with Penta. No matter what fight it is, I will always pick Penta.
No, if it's a clean fight, I think Penta wins. But I just think Moxley's going to come out and help out, and then it's Bloodfest 2023 at All Out.
Oh, I was so happy when Orange Cassidy bled.
Too pretty to bleed, man. Too pretty.
I was so happy. I sent you a message. I was like, Sean, he's bleeding. Yes. And we didn't even get all of them to bleed, right?
No, neither one of Ortiz or Santana and Penta did not bleed. Everybody else in the match bled. Oh no, Yuta didn't bleed and Cesaro didn't bleed. Or Claudio, sorry. I keep calling him lately. I've been calling him Cesaro all the time, man. I don't know why I went back to call him Cesaro instead of Claudio.
You want him to go back to WWE. I cannot go without Penta. I got to go with Penta all day. So I got Penta beating Orange Cassidy, and then I got Penta beating Moxley in All Out. But I don't think it's going to happen. But I can't go against my favorite wrestler. I'm sorry.
I think they're putting it on Moxley so it gets some notoriety to go touring in like Japan and some other things right now. Because I think he's got a tour coming up. So I think that's why I think he's going to get the title. So then as he's touring, it's him defending the AEW International title.
If you guys remember when we did the mock AEW draft, I did come out with the Penta mask, which Sean was shocked. He was like, what's going on here?
That's because you went all dark, and I'm like, what happened here?
One of the most classic moments.
Yes, I thought the power went out on anything. Anthony's asking, Sean, to me, honestly, I can't really take a guy like Adam Cole seriously as a babyface because his natural persona throughout his career in NXT or independent, he's a douchebag. Yeah, but also he's that guy that you always want to punch in the face. Adam Cole, even when he's a baby face, he still does his mannerisms. Still, like you just want to be like, bah, punch him in the face. And that's why he's always, good for the heel because I believe, and again, I've met him a couple times on the indie scene, and he was great to me. And great in the locker room. He's not a douchebag, but the persona when his music hits and everything else, you couldn't. He amps it up, man. It's one of those things to where it's you amped up, 80 decibels or 100 decibels, and that's what makes the best character because it really is a, MJF probably has that in him. He's probably a sarcastic son of a bitch, and that's why it comes off so good on air because it's him, so that's one of those things that happened. So I want to thank everybody that was in on the chat and in on the show. We had Anthony, no doubt, Tony Zags, appreciate you. Let's see, make sure I don't miss anybody here. If I miss somebody, no doubt, Anthony, Zag, Karoon, appreciate you. Tua Time was there for all yelling back and forth.
I was not lost to a time. He's such a CM Punk hater.
Nicholas Colmenares, that guy was in there as well. Nick, appreciate you, my man. Steven Gonzalez was in. My dad was in. Was in at some point.
There you go.
Jaime Zoria was in. I hope I say that correctly because he did say that, Sean, you had it right the first time. Big O is the one that gets it wrong, not American version. Jaime Zoria.
Jaime.
So appreciate you as always. Karun, I think I said EWD Jr., my dad, Terry. So appreciate all you guys for jumping in with us. We had a great time. Don't forget, you can go back and listen to the podcast. Hit the like, subscribe. We're here every Tuesday. Next Tuesday, we might be on a little bit later. I have a high school parent-teacher thing to go to. So
one last thing. One of my friends, I want to give him a shout out. He hasn't tuned in, but I do want to give him a shout out. My friend Big Al. He's also a DJ with me. He unfortunately has one of his pet dogs. He had to put him down today. So he's going through some stuff. So I want to go ahead and show him some love, at least on the show.
And the family, and
that's not easy, man. That is not easy. I'm gonna go walk my dog right now after this show. So that's how much. If it ain't raining, because I don't know if it's raining. Is it raining by you? That storm kind of like
we flood over here. Like it rains, I flood. My neighborhood floods, so it's like it's worse.
Everybody up the west coast side of Florida, stay safe. Yeah. Stay safe. My sister, she's in Pensacola. Stay safe, guys, over there as well.
Roman, we the one. Stay safe, Roman, in Pensacola.
Yeah, yeah, man. It's
no. Seriously though, in all seriousness, man, if you're in the path of the storm or any, please stay safe. Listen to. It's no joke. It's going to be, I think, a lot of rain, and we know how that is down here. And if you live in Florida, you already know. So hopefully you're prepared for that. And just if you need something to listen to, tune into Squared Circle Digest there.
I saw
Also, you can follow me at Sean_Stanley11, all social media platforms, and check out Sports Talk with Sean Stanley on YouTube.
I saw we got 17 likes. Thank you guys. If you could hit that like. If you haven't hit that like, keep hitting it. We really, really do appreciate it. You guys can follow me at Frezko Music. Subscribe as well. I am on all social platforms. Also, one quick thing. AEW CM Punk, Team CM Punk. Let's go ahead and carry this Team CM Punk momentum to next Tuesday. That way Sean can finally jump on board on the CM Punk train.
That will not be happening anywhere anytime soon. And Anthony had one more thing. He says, I'm going to use a comparison. Adam Cole has a Shawn Michaels type of thing where even if he's a baby face, as a fan, you want to punch him in the face. That I can go with, but also Shawn Michaels apparently, because of the stories that were told, was really like that outside as well. So, and he did get jumped by a bunch of Marines because he was hitting on one of the Marines guy. That's when he had the lost my what do you say? I lost my love or something for pro wrestling, and I lost my smile. I lost my smile for pro wrestling, and he went away for a while. But that's because he had to heal from the concussions and everything. So, but No Doubt says, ouch, love the dogs. And yes, Jaime says, have a great evening, everyone, and stay safe, my Florida family. And we echo those sentiments. And in the words of the great Gordon Soley, so long from the sun, shine, state, fire CM Punk.